Hi there. Today this video is about Jet Airways and whether Jet Airways 2.0 will be able to take to the skies successfully. On the 25th of February 2019, I flew on board Victor Tango Juliet Charlie Victor operating 9W856 between Lucknow and Delhi along with my wife. This was an ATR 72 and it was going to be my last flight on Jet Airways. A few weeks later, the original Jet Airways wound up, stopped operations, and thousands of employees across India were left in the lurch. Before that happened, I was fortunate enough to download my entire flight history with Jet Airways from their portal, which it allowed me to do ever since I joined the Jet Privilege program back in 2001. Although my very first flight with Jet Airways was much earlier, back in 1996, November 1996 to be precise, on a return flight between Delhi and Mumbai as part of a theatre troupe that had gone down. I was also very lucky on the way back to have a window seat and got my first view of the iconic right turn the aircraft takes, and you see Juhu Beach quite clearly. Jet Airways' collapse was the end of a very important chapter in Indian aviation. Now, Jet Airways was taken as a prime or a case for the new Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. It was referred to the National Company Law Tribunal, and the NCLT once soon approved a bid by a consortium of private equity players, the Jalan Kalrock bid for 1,375 crores to give them the assets and the brand of the old Jet Airways. Of course, that bid has been challenged. I don't want to get into the nitty-gritties of that. It's been challenged by the employees who are just going to be given 23,000 rupees and a 10,000 rupee travel voucher. You know, they've lost lakhs and lakhs, they've lost years. Some of them, have harmed themselves. It's really sad, and honestly, that is not enough. But that's the story about private sector bankruptcies in India. This story is not going to end, but the new ownership believes that they will be able to start operations by the first quarter of 2022. They have already put out adverts on their social media handles asking for cabin crew, for cockpit crew, for ground staff, for management. However, in this video, I'm not talking about the NCLT process or whether Jet Airways can or should fly again. The problem I have here is I don't believe they will be able to replicate the success that Jet Airways had in their early years, or even really make a major dent on the Indian market, which is now dominated by IndiGo. And if the Tata bid for Air India goes ahead, on the full service front will be dominated by whatever Tata decides to call Vistara Air India. And the reason for that is it is not very easy to revive a brand, any brand for that matter, particularly a brand that has not been operating for 3 years in this case. And I want to give you the story of Pan American World Airlines. Pan Am was the United States. It was one of the most powerful aviation brands out there. But after its collapse in the aftermath of the Lockerbie bombing, many attempts have been made to revive the Pan Am brand. It is a very, very powerful brand in the world of aviation, but attempts were made and they have failed. The world moves on with regards to brands, and the world has moved on from Pan Am. And if Jet Airways doesn't get going very soon, the world will move on from Jet Airways. I was a Jet Airways fanboy. I had gold status on Jet Privilege. I used to fly a lot. In fact, my last few flights, I used my frequent flyer points to redeem them because you kind of guessed things were not going the right way. But people like me who like, frequent flyer points have moved bag and baggage over to Vistara. And right now, when you fly, if you're not flying with service at all, and right now in a post-COVID world, there is no service on board airlines, If you're not flying for your frequent flyer points, you're flying for price and convenience and timings more than anything else. And that's where IndiGo really scores. Oh, I think it's a great time to start an airline. Actually, I think Akasa is going to make roads because they are investing their money in a greenfield startup. They are building their own brand. I don't know if it's a great time to restart an airline because you're already spending $200 million on some assets that are not worth much. Jet Airways just sold a parked 777 that was parked at Amsterdam Schiphol for a paltry $9 million. Some of the other 777s that are parked all over the place are not really worth all that much. It will cost tens of millions to get them back into any sort of flying order, and maybe the 777 is too much aircraft in a post-COVID world. And then there is brand. I mean, would you fly an airline like Jet Airways if it restarts if the prices were not right? I don't think so. However, do leave your comments below. Do you think Jet Airways will be revived? Can the brand become successful again? I'd like to hear what you think. And do like, subscribe, and do share this video on to all your friends. Thanks for watching.